of different players that have probably gotten their draft stock raised a little bit. And I'm just kind of going to tell you a little bit. I'm not going through like maybe a whole news segment, but more so something so that you guys understand stock. And the way that the league, the dynasty, the chairman himself, Ben Bradley, explained this to me, is that he would like me to just kind of give a brief analysis of whose stocks are going up and whose stocks are going down. And obviously we have terms like diamond hands, made famous by the one and the only Elon Musk. And then we have things like, obviously I'm selling or buy low, sell highs type stuff. I'm not going to necessarily get into options tradings or anything like that, or any sort of security tradings, or I'm not going to talk about shorting anyone either or anything like that. But I am going to talk about just kind of selling high, buying low, diamond hands. Diamond hands is a term basically that means that the stock that you bought is going downwards or even plummeting. And instead of selling off and kind of retaining the little bit of money that you might have left because you probably lost a lot, you're going to do what's called diamond hands and hold on to the stock in hopes that it goes back up to where at least it was before you bought it to get even, or go up even higher. All right, so let's kick this off. First off, obviously, we got to talk about the Baltimore Ravens. Apparently the Giants and the Ravens switched fields from 2020 because all of the running backs for the Baltimore Ravens are getting injured. And it's not just like so-so injuries, they are year-ending injuries. Obviously, we had J.K. Dobbins go down with a torn ACL. He's done for the year. And this was either today or yesterday, Justice Hill tore his Achilles. He might be done for his career. So the big thing here to take away is that opportunity. They have probably the best rushing offense in the NFL. We've talked about that before. Gus Edwards' stock has exploded. Hopefully you got him when JK went down. I actually, even in a couple dynasties, traded out of the JK situation into the Gus Edwards situation. And obviously I got some other things to shore up the equity on that. But I did not have diamond hands for J.K. Dobbins. Here's the deal, though. In another league, I do have diamond hands for J.K. Dobbins. So I could see both sides on that. Gus Edwards is a very good running back. He's quietly and very, very efficient, 5+ per yards per carry running back. So he's a guy that if you can get him for a price that's like around or lower than, I would say, like Kareem Hunt, then jump all over it. Because honestly, I think that with the Justice Hill thing, we might have had a little bit of a divvy, but now with this, it's literally him and Tyson Williams, I think. It's just those two. Now, they might go out and get a Todd Gurley, a Le'Veon Bell. Those guys are washed up. They're bad, and they're literally in there. They'd be in there for like, hey, give these guys a breather. They're not going to do anything for you, and they're not going to implicate either of these Tyson or Gus. So, stock is going through the roof for these guys. I would still buy. And so what I'm saying, like, buy low. Yeah, you missed your chance to buy low, obviously. But right now, it's like getting AMC at $30 before they went. It's like getting GameStop at $60 before they went to $250. Okay, so obviously, GameStop, multiplied by 7 from where they were at like $6 in like, a few days, a few weeks. But they ended up at like $230. So it's on you right now to think, oh, is this Gus's peak value? No, it's really not, because everyone's just sitting there thinking, oh, it's Gus Edwards though. Like, take a chill pill. No, don't take a chill pill. Don't take a chill pill. So definitely buy Gus Edwards. And if you need to spend a wide receiver like in a redraft, Adam Thielen, Odell Beckham, some of these older wide receivers that are going to get, I wanted to say get buckets, but get, looks this year, get targets, maybe a Tyler Boyd, sell one of them off and grab Gus Edwards, because I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to reference Jim Cramer on this talk, but I'm telling you right now that Gus Edwards has the potential to be a low-end RB1 in that offense. Yep, that's right. Okay, moving on. Just to that point, Le'Veon Bell did come into the Ravens facility on Monday. So, like I said, though, I would not care about that at all. Okay. Let's talk about the Rams now, because now we'll go over to Cam Akers. He tore his Achilles. He is a guy, when you talk about diamond hands, I don't know about having diamond hands with Cam Akers. Here's why. We've came a long way with ACL and ligament injuries in the knee. But if you look at the amount of injuries that have happened in the NFL in terms of Achilles, it's less than 5% of all injuries that have ever happened in the NFL. I think it's like 3.6. I'm going off the top of my head, though. I don't have anything in front of me. But that is an incredibly small sample size. And I think it's because, and I think this stat is referencing people that have came back from Achilles injuries. So we're talking about a very small group of people that have actually even tried to come back from an Achilles injury. And I think that you could kind of intuitively say that a lot of people that get Achilles injuries don't come back. Who can remember Brandon Oliver from at the time, it would have been San Diego Chargers. Or wait, actually, I think it was San Diego Chargers at the time. Yeah, he was a starting running back. He was their guy. And we all saw the slow-mo video that Fox put up on the screen of his Achilles rupturing from his heel and then basically just literally making its way all the way up into his calf muscle. It's disgusting. I don't understand how they showed that and got away with it, but yeah, he was gone forever. And so when it comes to Cam Akers, he was so promising. For me, I do not have diamond hands. Sell on Cam Akers, get him out, and get what you can out of him. Your equity is gone, but get what you can out of him and move on. It's tough and it hurts, and you're thinking well, maybe. No, I don't think maybe. I really don't. Move on. I don't even know what you would target for Cam Akers. I would honestly just maybe wait for a while. And here's the deal. If you put him out there and you're not getting anything back, and it gets to the point of I'm not going to trade him for Darrell Henderson. I mean, why would you? The prospect of him coming back and being this medical miracle is better for me than Darrell Henderson for a year rental. So, yeah, if it's in that level, then go ahead and go diamond hands. Okay. All right, cool. Moving on. Let's go to the Dolphins backfield. It's really weird. I honestly think that news conference with Brian Flores and him telling everyone that Myles Gaskin and Salvin and Malcolm are going to be a 3-headed running back situation, I think that was the best possible thing for Myles Gaskin. That is my take on that. Myles Gaskin is a huge buy low because I think that they will lean on him the most, and I don't think it's going to be divvied up as much as you think. Salvin and Malcolm are not as good as Myles Gaskin was last year. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about the Broncos pass playmakers. I say playmakers because I want to talk about Cortland and Jerry Jeudy and Noah Fant. I'm sorry, Ben, and all the Bradleys combined, and I know this is your show, Ben, but I got to say this. I honestly want to see how this happens with Teddy Bridgewater. I know a lot of people think that, it's Bridgewater, so he's just going to glue the ball to Jerry Jeudy's numbers, and I don't see that, especially with the fact that their offensive coordinator loves tight ends. I think that Noah Fant is going to be involved in the offense way more than anyone thinks, and I think that Cortland Sutton is going to be the target leader and yards leader for 2021 for the Broncos. I see Jerry Jeudy's stock going down in comparison to what everyone's doing with him right now. I know he's very good, but unless it's a dynasty, I don't see it for redraft this year. I see Cortland Sutton as a steal a little bit, not oh my God, but a steal. And I see Noah Fant as someone that could get you consistently top 5 numbers as a tight end for 2021. I think that Teddy is going to hit him underneath often. He's going to be the tight end Robbie Anderson, if you will. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a incredible buy at where he's at right now. I think that he's going to finish as a low-end RB1. Okay? Here's another thing. I think that, and I said this last time, and I don't think I elaborated on it enough. If you can think right now, and I don't have a computer in front of me, I'm just going off my head. If you could think about running backs last season that didn't miss a single game besides Derrick Henry, please let me know, because I honestly, and I was just talking with someone about this, I don't think I know of anyone. And these guys are going to go down in the 17-game season. So what I'm telling you right now is get your guys, but at the same time, get some handcuffs. And if you only get like a Clyde Edwards or, one Alvin Kamara and the rest of your running backs are like heroes, just snatch up all the handcuffs you can. Okay. Because eventually one of them is going to hit. Your example and a little bit of proof is Gus Edwards in this moment and Darrell Henderson. And if you think that because of that's just what happens in the preseason, you're dead wrong. There's going to be tons of more injuries coming up, and they're going to be towards running backs, and you're going to want their handcuffs because, like I said, when you're talking about a team like the Packers, A.J. Dillon, if Jones goes down, is immediately a low-end RB1. Immediately. So grab your cuffs this year. It is more important than any other year. Okay? All right. So real quick, let's go over, I think what I would like to do is go over quarterbacks. Just super duper quick. So when you are talking about quarterbacks over the entire year, I want to talk about quarterbacks in the NFC West. Everyone thinks that, Russ Wilson, Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, they're all going to be great. Here's the deal. When you get into the playoffs, they are going to be playing division teams. And those division teams, besides the Seattle Seahawks, have pretty solid secondaries. The Rams obviously have a top 5 secondary, and Jalen Ramsey will shut people down. So if you are planning on starting like a Russell Wilson in the last weeks of your season and moving into the playoffs, that might be tough because he might be going up against Jalen Ramsey, and Chris Carson might run the ball 25 times. Okay? So what you should probably be thinking when it comes to that is, if I have a quarterback in the NFC West, I might want to shore up my equity and get maybe just another streamer like Ryan Fitzpatrick and just sit him down there and wait on him. Don't get something like Russ Wilson as your top quarterback and Matthew Stafford as your second quarterback unless somehow you've looked at the schedules and know that you can kind of squeeze through that. Okay? All right. Other quarterback situations. Sounds like Trevor Lawrence is the starter. Whoop-de-doo. We all figured that out from the start. But the Gardner Minshew move was I thought, kind of a cool thing for him. It really seems like, and I don't remember his name, I think it's Sirianni. He doesn't have very much confidence in Jalen Hurts. And the fact that he went out and got Gardner Minshew, there's other quarterbacks he could have gotten. And I'm sure that he tested the market a little bit. I see Gardner Minshew's stock rising with that because I think that beyond Jalen getting hurt, there's a chance that he might get benched because I think that what he is, I think this is a foreshadow to inconsistency. And I think that he's probably holding his cards close to the chest here, but I think that Gardner Minshew's stock is up, and Jalen Hurts for the first 6 weeks, I feel like will ball out with that schedule. But after that, I think that he's going to run into some thicker water. So Gardner Minshew. Stock is up. If you can just grab him for nothing, grab him. All right, cool. All right, now moving into just a couple more things here, okay? Number one, we talked about running backs, obviously, and we talked about anyone that's going down, pick up their handcuffs, stuff like that. Here's the other thing, though. What about wide receivers on a terrible team that are just going to get looks? I'm talking about Tyrell Williams. I'm talking about Brandon Cooks. And, you can kind of keep looking into this. There's a couple more wide receivers like this in this situation. I don't know if Corey Davis is in this realm because we have Elijah Moore over there, and he's a baller. He's a rookie baller. He might actually get some looks. But I think Tyrell Williams and I think Brandon Cooks are super buy lows because they are going to, both of those teams are going to be down often and they're going to be throwing. And Tyrell, I feel like honestly, is going to get at least 10 targets a game. And I think Brandon Cooks, honestly, is going to get at least, I would say, 8 to 10 targets a game. So look to buy these guys, okay? Here's my last thing. I said this a little bit in the last show, and it really pains me because this is probably my favorite player right now on the Seattle Seahawks. I want to talk about DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I think that right now there's a huge misrepresentation of where we think the ball is going to go this year based on what happened last year with the Seattle Seahawks. I think that DK Metcalf is going to make people cry this year in fantasy football, and here's why. Last year, we did all this stuff on Twitter, let Russ cook. We let Russ cook for a little while, and it went well for, I want to say, like 5 or 6 games, and then all of a sudden it went to the trash because he was just literally doing jackpot 500. That's not good, and Pete didn't like that because that's not who Pete is. So after that, Pete started running the ball more, started getting back into his thing and doing what he's done for a long time. What he said in like February or March is he said, I'm going back to running the ball. And so look for Pete to treat Chris Carson like Marshawn Lynch this year. Look for Pete to do play action. Look for Pete to start getting back into actual reads within a 3-step drop for Russ, and looking for Tyler Lockett to get to use his foot speed more. Okay, because right after he said that I want to run the ball more, he gave Tyler Lockett a 4-year, $18 million a year contract with like 29 guaranteed. That's a huge contract for Tyler Lockett at 28 years old. This is a hot take, but if it's true, then you have to listen. Or if you think it's true, then you have to follow this. I think DK Metcalf is an absolute bust at his draft and redraft right now. I think that he realistically should be going in like the 5th or 6th round. I think that's where he's going to fall based on his production this season. I think that Tyler Lockett is going to outproduce DK Metcalf this year. I think that Tyler Lockett, when it's all said and done, might be an early 3rd round wide receiver this year in redraft and snake format with like 10 to 12 teams. Actually, more like 12 teams. And I honestly think that Tyler Lockett might be a high-end wide receiver too, and he's like going to be top 15, guys. They're going to be doing routes where like Russ does play action and literally picks the ball out of Chris's hands, loads up and throws it at Tyler before he even turns his head out of his out route, his 7-yard in route or whatever. And you guys are going to want to get into that because it is going to be functional and systematic. And DK has a terrible route tree. He has terrible cutting. He's getting better at it. But that dude runs go routes. And he's going to run go routes. And he's going to get deep balls. And he's going to have a 17-point game. But you're not going to want to start him after like week 6. Okay. And I'm telling you right now, this is the foreshadow. Maybe I look stupid by week 6 because he's just like wide receiver 3. But what I'm saying is I don't see it based on Pete Carroll, how he runs his offense, how he won his championship when Marshawn was on the team, and what I feel like is coming. Okay? So, Tyler Lockett, huge buy low. Okay? DK Metcalf, if you drafted him especially in a PPR, if you've drafted him in a redraft, sell high right now. My God. I guess I am going to go Jim Cramer. I'd hit the button to sell. Sell quickly. That's what I say. And get his value. Get someone that really wants him. There's people out there that really want him. Nobody really understands this rhetoric right now. And I feel like most people wouldn't unless they were a Seahawk fan. And even some Seahawk fans are like, nah, he's too good. But if you really dissect it, you can see my line here. So this is up to you guys. This is what you think, but this is my super hot take on what's going to happen to the Seattle Seahawks this year. Oh, and by the way, buy up your Chris Carson. Oh man, he is going to ball out this year. Just letting you know. All right. Peace out.
Hey, Alex.
What?
So when you're on a boat and you're on like a rocky ocean, and you're drifting out to sea, what's the best way to keep your boat like sturdy and just staying still?
Oars?
No, not even close. You throw out your anchor.
Oh, your anchor. Oh,
Yep,
okay.
You throw out your anchor. You know what I like to do to keep my podcast steady and just sturdy while everything else seems to be rocky and wavy around me?
Not oars, right?
Not oars. It's Anchor again.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Anchor.fm. Let me explain. This app is free, completely free to host your podcast on.
Like 100% free?
100% free. And you get unlimited storage for all your episodes.
Unlimited?
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
As Russell Wilson would say.
Yes.
That's right. It's also got creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer.
Well, I'm all about that.
I know. And it also distributes your podcast for you, so it can be heard on the likes of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of them.
What's not to like?
It's great. You can even make money from your podcast, Alex.
And we're all about that.
And you don't need minimum listenership. So,
that's
that's a real good thing. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. You need to download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started.
I'm getting right on it right now.
Keep your boat and your podcast sturdy.